and welcome back. This is part 3 where we're going to talk a little bit about what indicators we have showing that the real estate market is going to crash. After all, so many people have been saying that the double-digit appreciation in the housing market is going to lead to a downfall that could possibly be bigger than 2008. In this video, I'm going to talk about the data that I have. I'm going to talk about how the recession in 2008 and today compares, some of the similarities, some of the differences, and what you guys can expect in the future. So here we go. During the big COVID season, spring 2020, San Francisco saw the biggest drop in its rents, about 25%. Which is huge. We are in a recession right now, whether you want to believe it or not. We are seeing record job losses and unemployment. During a recession, the interest rate is lowered, and that's to stimulate the economy. If you have a stable job, the low interest rate can actually benefit you, and that's why we're seeing a record number of refinances on home loans. Depending on your situation, right now could be the very best time for you to buy, or, depending on your situation, it could be the absolute worst time to purchase real estate. In the early 2000s, banks had so much freedom that they could lend money to virtually anybody they wanted to. It was a win-win situation for banks because the government said that they'll back any loans because homeownership is amazing. Well, homeownership is not always amazing if people can't pay their mortgages. So what happened is so many people were given loans that they really couldn't afford. They gave out loans where their income wasn't even verified. And of course, the supply of homes was just outrageous. Builders were going haywire, trying to build as many homes as they could because anyone could purchase a home. The interest rates were really low because so many loans were adjustable rate mortgages. What that means is after 3, 4, 5 years, the interest rate goes up. So what happens on those adjustable rate mortgages is that all of a sudden, just because the interest rate went up, the people could not afford their homes anymore. Because it was so easy to buy a home, nobody needed to rent. People who purchased 3 or 4 or 5 or 15 homes all of a sudden didn't have renters because the renters now qualified to purchase a home. So now we see with an excess, a surplus, and super low demand, it was a recipe for a disaster. And 2008, the recession, that's what happened. Usually in recession, home prices do just fine. But because in 2008, the recession was driven by home prices, that's what made the history books. Jump to 2020. What is going on? We're seeing double-digit appreciation year after year, just like we did before 2008. But let me talk about a few of those key differences. Well, one, the banks have so many strict laws that they can't just give a loan to anybody. They actually have to have income verification, you have to have a minimum credit score, and they double and triple check everything. If you've recently purchased a home or refinanced, you now know how much documentation is needed just to prove that you make money. And probably the biggest difference with 2008 and today is that there is so high demand and not enough supply. With the interest rate being at all-time lows, right now, at least in Utah, average days on market is about a week. There's a really low interest rate, and what that means is more people can purchase a home, more people want to purchase a home, and so demand goes up. With higher demand, prices go up. That's why we're seeing even higher prices during COVID when the expected price was to go down. Once the interest rate starts going back up, it'll not stop the market like it did in 2008. It will help slow it so it's more of a healthy market. And because demand is so high right now, all of the homes that are in forbearance, which is just over 3 million in the United States, if all of those go into the market right now, demand is so high, those will be absorbed rather quickly, and that'll be really nice so that those of you who are trying to purchase a home will actually be able to get a home. The real estate market as a whole in the US economy is very, very specific to an area and region. For example, Utah and Idaho right now are booming, and that's because there's so much job growth going on. A great reason why you should be looking into purchasing a home in Utah, or at least owning property in Utah, is because the property taxes are so low. Home values, in this state at least, are expected to keep increasing. I hope to have explained clearly some basic terminology of real estate investing, what the market is doing right now, and how you can start your real estate investing adventure. See you guys again soon. Bye-bye.